We wanted to ensure that our business model is sort of aligned to how the world is changing as a result. When was the last time you remember seeing your insurance policy that you've received from a company? Most
Exactly.
people haven't. The penetration of health insurance is quite low. Less than 10% people are covered in private health insurance. Hi, this is Saransh here. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Nova Benefits, and I'm here to answer a few questions from the Business Outreach magazine today.
Okay, Saransh, to begin with, I would like to ask you, could you tell us about your background prior to establishing Nova Benefits?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a graduate from IIT Bombay, did my chemical engineering from there. Very quickly realized chemical engineering is not for me and joined a management consulting firm, BCG. So worked 2 years in management consulting, was part of corporate boardrooms, helping them execute on their most toughest problems. And post a stint of 2 years at BCG, this was the year 2015-16. I got the bug of starting up. I could see a lot of my seniors from campus do really well and starting companies, and that seemed to me a very interesting thing to do. I did not have an idea or a team, so joined Axel. It's a VC fund that invests in startups, and that coached me what it takes to start a company and build. And then fast forward here at Nova, building the company now.
Then my next question would be, what motivated you to establish a platform like Nova Benefits, having already worked on a startup before this and having been with a mega VC firm like Axel?
Yeah, so I think for me, I wanted to create much bigger impact, which sometimes working in an organization you're not able to do. And also wanted to create something of my own. I am actually one of those founders which started with thinking from scratch. I did not have a pain point or something that I needed to solve. I looked at the entire canvas, pulled from my experiences from my past, and then finally arrived at the idea for Nova.
What gaps are you addressing that no one else is in insurtech space today? What makes Nova Benefits unique, would you say?
Right. So we are a post-COVID company, which means that we started once the COVID pandemic had already hit. And we wanted to ensure that our business model is sort of aligned to how the world is changing as a result. And one of the gaps we saw is that in India, the penetration of health insurance is quite low. Less than 10% people are covered in private health insurance, whereas it's much more for countries like US and China. So we knew COVID is going to be a catalyst for people to start prioritizing their health. And when we looked at the data, how do people get health insurance? We saw that majority coverage comes through corporates, not people individually buying the policy, but from the company sponsoring it for them. And as we researched more, we found several pain points. The claims experience wasn't great. There was a lot of manual work for HRs in the company to manage the policy. And there was no platform where, when was the last time you remember seeing your insurance policy that you've received from a company?
Exactly.
Most people haven't. Those are the gaps we started solving for at Nova.
You have revolutionized sort of a claims experience. That's what you claim to say. And Nova Benefits is all about revolutionizing the whole claims experience. So how are you doing this exactly, would you say?
So one of the metrics that we track is claim CSAT. Every time a claim has happened, we take a feedback from the end employee of what their CSAT is. And at Nova, it is 9.6 out of 10. And the way we've done that is we've looked at the entire claims journey, right from when the person is at the hospital to when he is submitting their documents, and then to the process at the TPA and insurer's end when they're actually settling the claim. Two things that we've done differently is we've made that entire process very visible to the end employee. And second, we also give them a complete view of where their claim is and what the next step is. So similar to how Zomato and Swiggy, we can track our order, the team member can track their claim. And our goal is that there should not be any surprises. So all information is present upfront. So that's what's helped us improve the claims experience.
Okay, so moving on to the next question, I would like to ask you, corporate wellness as an industry, it's quite in its nascent stages still in India. So how big a potential does this sector hold for India, would you say?
You mean corporate insurance, corporate health insurance?
Yes.
Even today, any company which is more than 200 employees is sponsoring corporate health insurance.
Right.
Almost 80 million people are covered by corporate health insurance. So it's already significantly big. The potential is for this space to grow 5 times more from where we are today. I think there are also several gaps. So, for example, corporate health insurance only covers hospitalization when someone is staying in a hospital for more than 24 hours. But our regular doctor bills, our regular eye and dental checkups, or our diagnostics, those aren't covered. Those come under this bucket called OPD. Those are all out of pocket expenditure for individuals today. And over a period of time, this will also come under the ambit of corporate health insurance.
Right. Okay. So Nova Benefits seems focused on employee wellness segment for now. So do you have any plans to diversify your offerings in future?
Yeah, so our starting point was corporate health insurance, but now we've expanded to being a full employee wellness company where health insurance is one part of it, but we also do things to ensure that people don't fall sick in the first place. So through Nova, people can get a doctor consultation done over the phone. They can get health checkups done. They can get access to mental health counselors. If a company wants to provide gym memberships to their team, a lot of companies are of a younger demographic. They can provide that. So we are building a full healthcare marketplace where companies can purchase these benefits for their team and ensure that they are seamlessly utilized.
Okay, understood. Circling back to your whole entrepreneurship experience, you can say with Nova Benefits and before that also, what challenges have you encountered having established a company during the pandemic, especially in the last 24 to 25 month period?
I think the first challenge for any founder is you have an idea, but does that idea fit with what the market wants? That's the first problem statement that you often try to solve. And it requires a lot of iterations, a lot of us talking to users, understanding what their pain points are, so that you can come up with and create a value proposition that resonates with them. So I think that was one thing that happens. The second thing that happens is you also need to bring together really smart people, a group of 5 to 10 people together who can execute on that vision early on. And when you are a young company at the start, it's often difficult to convince good people to come and join a company. So I think that's a second challenge that a lot of founders face. And the third thing is also, as a founder, you need the ability to sell. A lot of founders who may be engineers like me haven't developed that skill set. So it requires a lot of trial and error to get that piece right as well. I think these were some of the challenges that I went through, and then we as a company went through.
So, Saransh, you touched upon the fact that there is a need of having a good work culture and onboarding the right people to a startup environment. So, I would like to ask you, how do you define the work culture at Nova Benefits? And how important is it for a work culture to be really great in today's age of the great resignation, as you would say?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. So I think very early on, we decided that we want to be a people first company. And by people first, we mean that we need to ensure that we take care of our team well, so that they take care of our customers well, and then the customers take care of our business well. So we have put a lot of focus on ensuring that we're taking care of our people well. So we've created systems and practices. We've got a culture document written down, which we share with each team member so that they know what are the best practices. For example, at Nova, some of our core cultural values are high ownership, then compassion, and then resilience. And you would see that we kind of reinforce these values in everything that we do at Nova. And today, the best talent doesn't switch for pay necessarily. They switch for a better company or a vision that they want to go behind. So I think that becomes important.
Okay, understood. So, following up on this question, I would like to ask you, there's been a ongoing debate recently on corporate governance and the role of investors in guiding the startups and having a particular code of conduct and following ethics. Because lately, a lot of companies, startups especially, have come under investigation for bad governance and fraud. What is your opinion on this? You've worked with a big VC firm like Axel. Strong foundations and code of ethics is very important for any startup, I guess.
Yeah, I think the challenge that a lot of companies face is when they're starting out, they don't have controls in place, financial controls, compliance controls. But once they've raised money, they have to make that switch. And a lot of companies may not be able to do that. It doesn't come naturally, setting process.
Right.
So it becomes important to have a great business finance person, a great legal counsel, and then have your reporting very transparent as it goes to the top, so that you want as much sunshine to be there on your business,
Right.
especially for yourself and for your investors right from day one, so that you can prevent any surprises in the first place. So that's been like kind of the philosophy with which we approach how we do business metric reporting, how we handle compliance.
So, how important is the relationship between the investors and startup founders to ensure that a business is built on
Yeah.
strong foundations of ethics?
I think the ideal relationship is one of someone who is giving you counsel almost, but is not very directive, who is tied to the mission and is reviewing and is also helping you course correct, but also giving you enough latitude to execute. And I think and that relationship is important, because even as a founder, even as a CEO, you would always have blind spots which your board can shine the light on and help you course correct. And the board should be seen as someone who can find those blind spots, course correct you where needed. And they also come like, if you have the right kind of investors, they come from a lot of experience as well. So it doesn't work well for everyone. It's hard to find great investors, but if that's what in my mind would look like a great synergy.
Right, right. So, circling back to Nova Benefits, could you tell us about Nova Benefits' plan for path to profitability?
Yes, so I think our business is one where we don't have any fixed assets as
Right,
such. Our main primary cost is that of people. We act as a market, a platform between insurance companies and clients.
right,
So as such, we don't have any fixed costs. The way we actually generate profits is but just through scale. As we scale up, it would kind of pay for all of our costs. So our approach is just to kind of continue to grow and scale. We are dealing with corporates, so once we take care of their health insurance needs, they have other wellness needs as well, that they come to us once they've
right.
trusted us with their health insurance. So that's kind of helps us be on the path to become profitable.
So, is there a timeline where we are focusing on as a company? Nova Benefits is focusing on to achieve profitability. Would you say?
I think if we want to, in a short period of time, we can already achieve that. In fact, we were even profitable before our previous round. But the reason you actually raise money is so that you can then scale up faster, which
Right,
might mean in the short term you are not profitable because you're hiring faster and it takes some time for the business volumes to come in. But I think we're on the right path, and we should be profitable in a couple of years, and we have the ability to kind of control when we want to do that as well.
okay. So, profitability is for soon for Nova Benefits, I guess. So,
Yeah.
what are your ambitions for the next 5 years as a company, Saransh?
Yeah, so at Nova, we want to reach a stage where we've insured 1 crore Indians, 10 million people by 2025. We want to become the most loved employee wellness platform. When an individual is shifting their company, they're asking the question, is this company on Nova, as a proxy for how good their culture is.
Right.
So that's a long-term vision, and we want to improve the standard of healthcare in the country by building Nova. So that's what we are hoping for.
So, you want to be that eponymous brand when it comes to insurance, you could say that.
Yes, yes, yes. Our name should be synonymous with employee wellness. Yeah.
Sure. And with that, we come to the end of this interview. And thanks for your great responses, Saransh. Business Outreach wishes you good luck for the rest of the year.
Thanks so much, Rohit, for the great questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you.